Kulkarni's son had this habit of whoring. I mean, he spent his pocket money, unlike other kids who bought CDs and music. Like he would bargain with girls, like one shot kitna hai. I mean, that is his fascination and obsession. So one day, in his excitement of getting a girl and bargaining, he chose a girl, and he managed to bargain and get that girl, who was also the girlfriend of the mafia underworld don. Like this underworld don got to know of his girlfriend getting to spend a night with Simon. So underworld don speaks very little, and he lets his gun do all the talking. So Simon heard a new language for the last time. That is the gunshot.
Kulkarni's son is Simon.
Sorry, not Simon. Kulkarni's son. It's not Simon. Sorry. Simon, I don't know who Simon is.
भाई का कुलकर्णी के भांजे से क्या दुश्मनी?
मेरे को नहीं मालूम, मेरे को सिर्फ ये बोला गया कि उसको टपकाने का है, और उससे मेरा अपना पुराना खुन्नस था वो निकाला। वो साला बहुत तकड़ दिखा था, और कुछ नहीं।
So here are a pair of hanging shoes. A guy who makes the kulfi and sells the kulfi.
No. It won't be of the kulfi. It should be about some of those characters that we use. ऐसा कुछ
Okay.
करते हैं।
This hanging shoe has been shoved in the assassin who killed. He's fled and he has to hide somewhere. And he knows Calcutta like the back of his hand. And this is one place, man. You've been inside the maze. Once you're here, you're safe. So he's hidden his shoes there. Now, who the assassin is, like, you can huh? Yeah, this guy is an old man. The guy who's coming into frame right now. Look, he's the assassin.
साइमन के बारे में सुना है?
सुना है।
He's a person working with an ad agency. And the name of the ad agency is Hindustan Beavers. So, I mean, you can take a guess what that might mean, Hindustan Beavers. And his first assignment is that he's working for a detergent called, what's the name of the detergent? Something called Turf Detergents, I think, or whatever the detergent is. And when he's being briefed by this boss, that you have to make a huge hoarding of turf detergent. So that's how the story begins. This is a shit and piss lane. So, shit and piss lane. Like. Yeah, it's on both sides. So now Simon is on the lookout for some ideas on what he would write on that boarding. But Simon actually doesn't like working. I mean, who likes working anyway? I mean, given a chance, all of us would just sit up and like sit in a cool room and enjoy life. But life being such, we have to work. So Simon doesn't like working. So he's always on the lookout how to escape the office scenario. And he's like, so he's always escaping the office scenario, and he's going out and having his own adventure. You guys open your shoes, huh? Is that possible?
Yeah.
This is the cabin of the person who owns this agency.
Okay.
And You can close up. See, that's those are the gods that make things work. See, Pooja's hand. Without them, business is not possible. यहाँ पे you can take a few close-ups of some advertising books. Creativity. I'm holding creativity in my hands. I get shot by the boss every day, and I die 1,000 deaths. Sounds good, no? And so yeah, that gives me my money also. So लिखना, थोड़ा story लिखना, थोड़ा ice cream, eating ice cream, थोड़ा thumbs up पीना, ऐसा चलता है. ऐसे ही होता है. Boss और मैं काम. यहाँ पे मेरे हाथ में एक मैगजीन है, इसका नाम है कल्याण भारती. कल्याण भारती. इसमें समुंदर का पिक्चर है और नीचे लिखा है सुनामी की कहर. सो अगेन साइमन is working, as we remember in the beginning of the story, detergents, and all of the detergents will land up in the sea, and well, it's the best brand of detergents you can ever buy. It will cause you tsunami.
See, he was a nice guy and stuff, probably with people outside and all. In the house, he was a very buggersome person, once he came home, with a full bottle of whiskey, and I think it was Royal Challenge or something. Nice whiskey, and he was sitting in the dining table and he was drinking, and before he came and sat, I was already sitting there, and he didn't say anything, he just sat there drinking, I thought that was a very unethical thing to do. It pissed me off a lot. Besides, I don't like the way he treats Auntie, and I just don't like the way he is. He's a very buggersome fellow. But it didn't bother me much, really, I gave it back to him in one way. So, no, the point of the fact is that I guess I should be sad that he's disappeared and stuff, but I'm actually not that sad. Things have been better for me ever since,
The last time when we saw him, it was about day before yesterday, at about early morning, 8 o'clock, and that was the last time when I saw him. And after that, he hasn't turned up. He hasn't been back home.
I think he's murdered. I think he's not going to come back ever again. He's gone for good. In a way, it's good he's gone for good. I don't think he was wanted here anyways. People never liked him in this house. His son hated him. His sister kept running away from him. I was the only one with him all the time. He's murdered. तमेव माता चक्ता तमेव तमेव बंधु सखा तमेव विद्याधरणं तमेव सर्वं मम देव. I don't feel guilty about what I've done. I think what I did was right. I'm his wife after all. I would want good things for him. Why do people feel that I'm against this?
So who would that be? Which character? This could be a sculpture of some character.
Yeah, maybe the prostitute
The prostitute.
Maybe.
But the prostitute is now no longer a prostitute. She is Mrs. Kulkarni, who is a wannabe actress.
Ah. But in somewhere in between, she might have done some ruchi. जहाँ से कुछ तो हो सकता है. So she has led several lives. It's I mean we cannot even imagine the life she's led. It's far more interesting than what we live on a daily basis. I mean earning money on the streets, painting up, then earning like trying to be a film actor, trying to be a housewife, and then now she's holding the baby. She doesn't even know whose baby it is. So this could be Mrs. Kulkarni. So we'll figure out if she's Kulkarni.
Exotic juices from Godrej Excess. सब पगली तेरे हाथ में तो आज फ्री पिज्जा का योग है. Domino's?
I think it must be that Simon fellow. That's why he kept coming to the house. Keeping in the good books of all of us. He always hated him.
Why?
I think he had a thing for my husband's sister.
Simon, what can I tell you about Simon? Simon, I have not spoken much with him, but yeah, he used to come over and he used to get some flowers and get some gifts and something, and he used to meet my bhabhi.
But then my husband didn't like that, so must have killed him for that.
And most of the conversation he used to have was with my bhabhi and not with me. I never indulged in any kind of conversation with him. But he was a handsome looking guy. Tall, handsome, and very well spoken.
Were you ever in love with him?
No,
Never.
never.
I'm still waiting for him. I hope he comes back.
Kulkarni was unhappy for the main reason that he could never find a suitable TV channel on this earth. Like he was tired of Astha channel, he was tired of Discovery channel. All the channels started looking the same. And once he almost slapped a promoter because the promoter was trying to sell him a building. He said, "इस building आप खरीदोगे तो 16 लाख का building और सुबह जब आप खिड़की खोलोगे and you look out of the window, it looks as if it's switched on Discovery Channel." So Kulkarni slapped the promoter. He said, "You are trying to fool around with me. I watch Discovery Channel regularly. It cannot be I cannot look out of a flat and it can't be So then he kept looking for a suitable channel and he couldn't find one. And finally he met these aliens on a kind of a field like this, huge. And they promised him that there is a channel which is worth watching. And they took him away on their spaceship. So after that we don't know whether he's still happy or not and whether he still found a channel, but Mr. Kulkarni can't be seen. Last he was seen in Star Wars, that film that has come. उसमें थोड़ा सा उसको spot किया गया था in one of the planets where there were a lot of fighting going on. So someone said in the audience that Kulkarni को वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा देखा. So I don't know whether that's true or not. But that's all that we know of Kulkarni right now. Most probably is not the killer. And Raju, while he's getting beaten up, mentions one word, like he says, the inspector said, "Who are you working for? Who sent you here? Why are you here?" So he mentions the word Simon. So the inspector asks him, "Simon? Who's Simon?" So like there's blood oozing from his face and he's black and blue, and he says, "Simon, Simon, he's a character in the office, but where's he now?" Then this guy says, "I don't know where is he, because he's in the office, but also he's not in the office." The inspector slaps him and says, "Is he God or something? Like he's in the office and he's somewhere else." Like. Then this guy says, "Yeah, Simon is a shadow character. Like he's everywhere. I see him everywhere. And he's in a chai stall. He's near the bhelpuri wala." Inspector slaps him again. "क्या नौटंकी कर रहा है तू मेरे साथ? Simon का जब भी देखता है, बता सच सच कहाँ Simon? कौन है Simon?" Then Raju breaks down and cries. सच बोलता है, "सर Simon ऑफिस में आता है, वो हमको आज थोड़ा सा चाय लाने के लिए भेजा हाईवे के उस पार, और थोड़ा समोसा लाने के लिए भेजा, मगर ऑफिस में Simon को मैं देखता ही नहीं। कभी कभी देखता है, वो क्या करता है मालूम नहीं, कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठ के, और फिर वैनिश, गायब हो जाता है." And by this time the inspector is like fuming. He gives this Raju character a few more lashings. Then Raju breaks down and says, "Shit, I wish I could be Simon, be like Simon." And then he says, he starts crying and says, "I wish I could be like Simon." Simon को कितना मज़ा है, वो साला इधर उधर घूमता है, कभी कभी नौकरी में आता है, काम करता है, इधर हवा खाता है, उधर हवा खाता है, और मैं यहाँ पे सिर्फ मार खाता है साले। यही मेरा तकदीर है।
That is so. This is very boring end for Raju.
Sort of okay.
Yeah,
थोड़ा
boring है, but चलेगा. It'll tie it up.
हाँ.
It'll tie it up. मतलब वहाँ से काटेगा हो जाएगा. But then you'll have to make something dramatic for the rest of the characters. ये थोड़ा बहुत ऐसा shoelace knot type बोल गया.
Writing, I'd never written a novel before, or a I've written short stories before, a couple of them. But this is the first time I was trying to write a novel. So I just sat and a little bit of desperation that something should come, because after all I've come all the way to Calcutta from Bombay to write that novel. So what will I tell people? So I don't know whether there are any deep creative, what do you call it? Any deep creative feeling or anything of that sort. Nothing of that sort probably. Just more a deadline I have to write and my experience. So all that driven me to put something on that piece of paper. So that's how I started writing. And this story is all about scattered incidents happening in a city, and not necessarily all of them are linked together. So then this character Simon comes in. Now, we don't know what is going to happen to Simon. That may be a funny or a sad story. I mean, I don't know what people who are watching the movie, I don't know what they'll like. I mean, you got to ask them whether they like a funny story or a sad story. So Simon lands in Bombay, and that's how the story begins. Begins with a bang, with this guy dead. That's one incident, and that's the whole pattern of the story. I mean, things keep happening, not necessarily all of them are linked, and Simon keeps cropping up. So he's the thread that holds the story.
What are you doing with, what is the status of your book right now after it disappeared? Could you just trace the chronology? You started writing something, then it disappeared off the comp, and just
Yeah,
trace
the novel was happening in Bombay. It was happening everywhere in Bombay. The comp crashed, so from Bombay it's gone zoop back to Cal. So now the novel doesn't have any fixed place. The novel has been broken. It's become short stories. So it will be a collection of short stories, which will be compiled into a book once I finish it.
How ka book were you looking at?
When I'm not scared, this thick. When I'm scared, this thick.